Hey up! I wanted to do a bit of a van tour because I appreciate not a lot of you have seen the inner workings of the van, or even the outer workings of the van. It's going to be a bit of a warts and all tour. I just want to prove that this isn't particularly a show van. It's got scuffs everywhere. We literally stayed in it last night. It's the morning after we camped at the Willows in Keswick, so it's still soaking wet from all those muddy footprints. The rug's dirty, covered in dog hair. Just wanted to give like more of a real sort of van tour, not one of the polished trying to sell you a van ones like you see on YouTube quite a lot. This is what an actual lived-in van looks like. So we'll start with the exterior first. I'll talk you through some of the upgrades, or downgrades, maybe some people might think. And then we'll come inside, I'll show you the conversion, maybe even get the bed out and show you what the bed looks like. And I'm going to show you the way it's packed in when we travel, where Walter sleeps and how his crate's fastened in. It's a 2018 Volkswagen Transporter T6. It's a DSG, so automatic gearbox, and it's the 150 PS engine. So we actually bought the van from a campervan converters down in Tamworth called Custom Campervan Designs, I think they were called. But it wasn't converted when we bought it. It was just a plain old panel van, which gave us kind of a blank canvas to do our own conversion. It was the perfect van for us, really. I always wanted a silver one. I always wanted the 150. It's a Trendline, so it's only middle spec, but it has got the upgraded steering wheel. In fact, the only things it really doesn't have that the Highline would have is a heated windscreen. Fog lights also they're missing, I suppose. But yeah, it came up at exactly the right time, exactly the right price. We paid $18,000 for it, I think, in total. It had done about 99,000 miles at that point as well, which is kind of the mileage range that I was looking at, really. It just ticked all the boxes for us. So we went down there and we bought it straight away. Custom Design Campervans did do a couple of little upgrades before we bought it, including this Sportline front splitter and also the wheels. We've upgraded the tyres since then to the BF Goodrich Trail Terrains though. It came with just the standard halogen headlights, which aren't great, I'll be honest. And one of the first things we did was upgrade the DRL bulbs to LEDs just for a crisper look. I'd love to upgrade to the THQ full LEDs one day, because driving down country lanes with the candle light that these lights provide isn't great. One of the next things we did was add some sidebars just to protect the sills, and also some roof rails. At some point I'll be adding some bars to these so we can start carrying things on the roof and create a little bit of extra storage. One of the last major upgrades we did to the outside was adding windows on either side and the rear, and installing the quarter panel decals. Then it was just a few little upgrades, including giving her the name Sylvia after my grandma, adding some sequential LED side repeaters, and then upgrading the badges front and rear to completely dechrome them. And that's basically everything we've done to the exterior so far. Let's go and take a look inside. One of the first things we noticed about the Transporter was the severe lack of cup holders, so we purchased these ones 3D printed from eBay. Emma also needed something to keep her entertained while I'm driving, so we added this little magnet to the dashboard, allowing her to use her iPad hands-free. We've also got these really handy sunglasses clips on each of the sunblinds in the front. And then purely for decoration, we've got my co-pilot Niblet and Emma's co-pilot Noblet, plus some Himalayan prayer flags just to add a little bit of something. In terms of the interior then, everything was just completely plain when we first got it. It was completely silver inside, all bare metal. There were a few ply panels. I think the back rear had a ply panel on and the doors had ply panel on, but we just got rid of those and bought a completely new set from Coombe Valley Campers, and then we carpeted it ourselves, fitted the ply panels to the ceiling. We did the flooring ourselves as well. So the flooring is actually just sticky planks on top of the ply floor, which was really easy to fit. And then the furniture was actually supplied and fit by Cymru Camper Furniture, who were absolutely incredible. They basically have these pre-built kits that they make themselves out of birch ply, and we just got them to install one of those for us for an extra fee. It came just as plain birch, so we had to do the decorating and stuff ourselves. Craftsmanship's amazing with it. So when we're travelling with Walter, we have this RAC dog crate that sits perfectly in the gap between the seats. And then to stop it sliding around, it's attached by a carabiner and a piece of climbing rope to this tie-down point in the back. For the lighting in the back, we've just got these little LED light strips here. They turn on with a remote control and they're USB chargeable, but they're dimmable. You can change the warmth of them and everything. We've got these little candles for a bit of ambience as well. They kind of flicker, also by remote control. And then some fairy lights just as sort of a night light, really. So the fairy lights and all the other electrics in the van are all powered by this Bluetti power station. It's the AC 180. It's got a couple of AC slots and plenty of USB DC as well. We leave the AC plugged into this extension lead on the back of the kitchen unit. It's mainly just powering the coffee machine at the minute. And then the DC USBs are permanently fixed to this worktop. They generally charge the lights and our phones as well. A couple of other things we have in the back just for comfort. This coffee machine, which is just one of those standard pod coffee machines. And then we've got a couple of drinks holders each that just sort of pop down so that we can hold our drinks too. So obviously with a smaller van, storage comes at a little bit of a premium, so we have to be really clever about how we store things. A lot of stuff goes underneath the seating area. That's where all the big stuff goes. And obviously we've got a couple of cupboards as well. But we hang these on the back of chairs and they're really handy for just those little bits and pieces that you're going to need quite often. You know, like your lighter, your little stove, stuff like that. They're perfect for that, and they were just a really cheap buy off Amazon. Great storage tip that we use and think it is amazing is using your cushions to store things like your down jacket. They're going to be in the van anyway, and it's just a great way to keep things neat and tidy and just utilise that space a little bit better. We carry both of our toiletries in this little overfilled bag here. It's quite useful because you can roll it out and then just have really easy access to everything. So yeah, as I said, everything that's big is sort of stored underneath the seats, so you can access a lot of them from the top or from the sides as well. They've just got these little hooks on. In the back one, we keep all of his chairs. The fire pit usually goes in there. Windbreak. If we're taking a shelter, that'll go in there as well. It's surprising how much they actually hold, to be honest. You can get quite a lot in them. So there's actually a cupboard underneath every single one of the seats. We try to keep certain things in certain cupboards. So that's obviously clothes and shoes. And then we've got a drawer cupboard that contains little coffees, snacks and stuff like that. Small food items, really. And then below that, we have... we keep all his dishwashing gear, the cutlery and stuff goes in there, bin bags that you might need. And then on the right hand side, it's like first aid kit, a bit of your bigger sort of bowls and plates and stuff like that. So it's all together in one place, basically. And then there's a little bit on the outside that you can get to that just has Walter's pyjamas in and stuff like that. One thing I will say about the cupboards underneath is when the bed is down like this, you lose access to some cupboards, so you have to make sure that if you need something the next morning, you've got it out of the cupboards you can't access. That's one thing that we learned being on the road for a few days. But putting the bed down is as simple as this. It literally just take the cushions off, fold it out, and then you bob the cushions back into the place to make the mattress. And once they're all in place, your bedding goes on top, but it takes about 30 seconds to do it, and then you've got full bed mode. So the fridge then, it just sits in the doorway here like this while we're travelling, and then when we're parked up, we've got a Vancraft seat hinge in the front double seat, and it folds down and houses the fridge perfectly there. Just creates loads more room in the front bit there so that you can get in and out of the van easily, and you can even store things down there while you're asleep as well. It's perfect. So yeah, I think that brings us to the end of our little tour of the van. It's been such an amazing first year with this van. It's taken us all over the country. We've been as far south as Cornwall, as far north as the top of Scotland. We've done Wales, the lakes, the Yorkshire Dales. I've slept at home for about 3 weekends since April, so it's definitely been used. But with that being said, we are still learning, so if you've got any hints and tips for us, please drop them in the comments below. We'd love to hear what your little nuggets of information are. And also, if you've spotted something in the video that I've not explained, also just drop a comment below and I'll try and explain that a little bit further. But anyway, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.